tutto quello che ho, in mezzo a tutto questo bel casino, è un motivo per sentirmi vivo, è un motivo per sentirmi vivo. Tutto quello che ho, il sangue che mi arriva dritto al cuore, l'ossigeno che spinge a respirare, è una ragione grande come il mare, come il mare. Tutto quello che ho,
Welcome back to Rome, where Revo starts on pole from Chris Cornwell and Casper LeBeau. Nico Palomino starts 4th from Lawless Leclerc, making his ERL return from Kazuki Sims and Matthew Hart. Ewa Puff starts 8th from Linus Eriksson and Charles Hernandez, then it's Nunez Garcia, Sparks YT15 and Sebastian Ocampo. Marcus Nelson starts 14th from Ezra and Lebarton, and in a rain-soaked qualifying, U-Cable was unfortunate to qualify 17th. Then it's your boy, Dominic Hudson versus Theo Sigmund, Daniel Bogdasarov in the back row of Devin Butler and David 12. After the carnage of London and the Red Devil no longer being able to drive with us, we've arrived here in Italy as all 5 lights go on. And the second round of the season is going. That's a great getaway there from Casper LeBeau off the line. A brilliant start from Chris Cornwell as well. Gets alongside with the home favourite as they barrel down into the opening corner. There's a bit of argy-barging going on in the mid-pack, but Cornwell has already taken the lead as they come through one. Palomino tries to take second place, and he's got it. Revo's lost 2 positions as it's carnage. Marcus Nelson in the air. One of the next TVs there also involved, I think that's Ocampo. Yes, Ocampo off the track first. Theo facing backwards, and Devin Butler off the road too. U-Cables had a monster of a start, up to 15th already, but out in front, Chris Cornwell leads the pack from Nico Palomino and Revo. What a horror show of a start then for the reigning series champion as the cautions come out, and it's for Gabriella Barton. Well, that was a close call there. A big hit there for Gabby, as he is now out of this race. 6 seconds is the lead for the number 96. Came into the season looking for the championship, and, well, with that race start, after a very terrible home race, I think he's now officially stating his claim to the ERL throne. Trying to sweep all 3 categories. And, you know, having effectively a rookie season last season, that helps when getting acclimatized to these new cars, as we are green with Chris Cornwell at the head of the pack. And Lawless Leclerc, let's take a look at that 16. Qualified very well in those wet conditions in his first race in an ERL 03. The season 23 chase for the Cup champion as Casper LeBeau takes second place from both Revo and Palomino. Palomino comes right back at him though, and Revo's going to try and follow through. Gets covered off by the Frenchman as they come through the chicane, and it's flying across the chicane for both Sims and Leclerc. Throwing, Hart and Hernandez both down there as well. Carnage going down through the Goodyear chicane, and Hart rejoins but hits Oinkro Ezra. This is brilliant news for U-Cable though, after his terrible qualifying, up to 11th already. Big mover through the field as it stands, and for Hernandez, drops down to 17th place. I don't know what these guys are doing. But yeah, just to return to that Leclerc comment I was going to, but that is Oinkro Ezra in the wall, down at the Valiente Alta. And Bogdasarov went for the move and hits the wall with Hernandez. Everyone flying through the Alta again, out of the race for both of the Venturis. The cautions return on lap 2 of 13, so now can I talk about Lars Leclerc then? The Monegasque driver, the season 23 chase for the Cup champion, vice champion of season 24, in the only season that has ever ended in a tie, so technically also the season 24 champion. And after the Red Devils major incident that has taken him out of the ERLs seemingly permanently, Kiro Raceco brought in the 16 to replace him. It looked like Akari Lopez was going to join in the team, but instead it looks like Leclerc accepted the offer first as Casper LeBeau comes in with Lawless as we go green again. Chris Cornwell still at the head of the pack. Might not have taken pole position in the wet conditions. And oh, cautions are out. It's Oinkro Ezra. The two Mercedes drivers have collided down at the Parabolica. Looks like we're never going to go green today. But it is seemingly the perfect lap to come in. The tyres now beginning to grain. So you do need this. And just going to point this out about UK Ball as Casper LeBeau re-emerges in this race in 7th. It started 17th. Just didn't have a good qualifying at all. No real pace shown in the wet conditions for one, and just no luck as well as Linus Eriksson hits the wall. To be up in 8th place now, yes, he's had to go through some carnage, but still very necessary to be able to go through that, as Verstio has hit the wall in 14th place and now has front wing damage. LeBeau moves up to 5th as Hart is in the wall, facing backwards, and just reminding everyone that yes, this is the ERL Formula E World Series, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get that boy back on track, and he doesn't. Cautions return at the end of lap 3. Last time out, we saw the record for the largest winning margin be broken by that man, Revo. The top two come into the pits. Cornwell onto a set of hards, Palomino. Let's see what tyres he goes on to. It's also a set of hard compound tyres. Kazuki Sims comes in as well. You are puffed down into the pits as well. I think UK Ball can see himself enter the race-winning competition if we get a lot more carnage today. Revo getting a bit squirrely going through that chicane. Casper LeBeau heading down the main straight. And he is not in front of Chris Cornwell. The Englishman just looking so quick out there. We ride on board with Revo as he comes through the Variante Alta. And he's in the wall! The reigning series champion in the wall at his home race. And will now have to try and bring back that number 7 with front wing damage as his teammate is now right there behind him. After victory in London, Revo at home doesn't seem to have any modicum at the luck he showed last time out. Is into the wall for Nunez and for Sparks. Out of the race for the Englishman. The cautions return. And it looked like Casper was looking at the move on Revo. So that will help the Italian at the very least, as he's trying to go unbelievably long into this race on the same set of mediums. Honestly, great effort there from the 7. It's still a bit too long in my opinion. UK Ball in that 89 car. We're still watching this man because we are very much hoping that he gets back to the top step of the podium as we go green. Terrible getaway then from Marcus Nelson in the 13 as Hernandez has had an off. He has hit the wall and has front wing damage. Nelson on the back of your boy, as that is Verstio who's hit the wall. What is the Brazilian doing with Ocampo? Sebastian hit the wall and was collected then by Brazil's very own Verstio as Palomino almost hitting his former employer in Kazuki Sims as the cautions come out. Charles Hernandez out of the race on lap 5 of 13. Revo came in during those cautions with Garcia, who also has front wing damage. So for both men, they'll get a cheapened pit stop, but I'm pretty sure everyone today's had a cheapened pit stop. In any case, I don't see Revo being in the race win conversation. He re-emerges in 7th place with a lap fresher tyres than the leaders, but 21 seconds off of the front guys. He's basically a pit stop behind. He's not coming back from that, most likely. Casper's tyres don't look too good as we watch Lawless Leclerc come through, and he's in the wall and out of the race. Out goes Lawless Leclerc, as that was your boy off the road and in the wall. I think Eriksson also with damage. Big yikes on lap 5. And we're already down to 16. Last season's Rome ePrix saw a very common occurrence of last season, unfortunately, the airborne crash. Hopefully we don't see that happen again today as we go green. And at the very least, it won't be the same drivers doing that, as the cautions come out for Marcus Nelson out of the race. And probably just sliding down the turn 5 wall. Cornwell goes on to begin lap 6 of 13. This is probably going to go on to be the longest race of the season with how many wrecks are happening. 15 still stand here in Rome. And I think Casper LeBeau should come in soon. Yes, he is diving down into the pits. And we are green. UK Ball still in the top 10, which is good news for Power Motorsport. It's a team who certainly needs some good news after a double non-score in the IndyCar Series, as that is close to the wall for both Sims and Palomino. Let's watch Puff come through the chicane on the verge as it's into the wall for Chris Cornwell. The 96 of Chris Cornwell in the barriers. Gets it righted again, but has front wing damage and will surely be coming down into the pits. Sims is in the wall. Palomino gets by him. Puff, I think, will also get by him, and does. Revo comes through the chicane on his lonesome then, and Devin Butler's tyres don't look too good. Cable took the opportunity to come into the pits there. Honestly, smart move, as Sims is out of the race, and it's contact with Revo. Down at the Lesmos, Kazuki Sims out once again. Contact with Revo. And for Revo, that's the second incident he's been involved in. He's got no ERS to use. He has to come in at the end of this lap. And for the home crowd, if it wasn't already obvious, their champion is not going to win today. In comes Chris Cornwell. Another set of hards going on, and see his front wing is fixed up. I don't think he'll lead, or he might. Your boy is out of this race as well. Down at the Variante Alta, things change again, and I think Cornwell's going to hold on to this lead. Palomino, he was powering down the main straight. He's not anymore, and you can see the Englishman so tantalizingly close, but he can't get past him. Chris Cornwell leads on lap 7 of 13. On the same lap where effectively his teammates' hope of winning this race is gone, and Revo staying out, not fixing up that front wing immediately, but without the ability to use any of the battery deploy. He's down about half of the usable horsepower of that car. Palomino in the wall! Dear me, that is terrible news for the Spaniard as Nunez Garcia comes down through the chicane. Casper LeBeau follows through. Here comes Puff. There goes Puff past Revo. He came into this race starting from the pole. But as it stands, I think he'd be lucky to score points on board with the 89 of U-Cable, keeping Dominic Hudson behind him at bay. The Englishman into the wall and out of the race. A fight back through the field will not materialize for the two-time Formula E champion. The cautions return on lap 7 of 13. Five to go. We're green again. Garcia quite a ways away from Chris Cornwell. Those two, not only have they driven against each other, I believe they were teammates, as there are yellows in Sector 2 for Devin Butler. Garcia comes in, and if I don't have this wrong, Garcia and Cornwell were teammates at Dale Coyne in Season 6. There's more yellows down in Sector 2, and that is for Chris Cornwell again. Front wing damage for the 96 car as Revo dives down into the pits. He'll get the front nose cone and everything fixed up in tip-top shape. But as it stands, he's the only man in the top 3 in points still in this race. Casper LeBeau has hit the wall. He's got wing damage. Oh! Flying off into the wall there for the 97 of Daniel Bogdasarov. Yellows in the opening 2 sectors. And Puff is now on the back of Casper. And honestly, Citroen Virgin are a dark horse for the podium. I say that, and Hudson gets hit by Nunez Garcia. Ericsson goes by. Ocampo arrives on the scene down at the Variante Alta. And it's a four-way fight for that position. Is that first Theo? Yeah, that's first Theo in the wall. In other news, Nico Palomino looking to try and take the top 6 at the very least. Cornwell comes down into the pits and straps on a set of soft compound tyres, which we don't expect to make to the end. Puff now sets a new fastest lap as it's close to the wall for both Hudson and Ocampo. Casper LeBeau comes in for his third stop of this race. Puff now leads, something we haven't been able to say in quite some time. And there goes Nico up into 6th place. Hudson dives down into the pits. Puff, Scotland's ERL Series champion, in the wall, but gets it pirouetted into a straight direction again. So that is talent in and of itself, in my opinion. Butler sets a new fastest lap as the dark clouds that have been over this track for most of today finally clear up again. Cornwell takes the lead from Puff. As that's a hard hit for Linus Eriksson down at the Variante Alta. Gets passed by Palomino and by Revo. That's like Campo right behind him. We ride on board with the 76. Haven't actually been able to talk about the liveries too much throughout the preseason as the cautions come out for Devin Butler, so it's a no score as it was in IndyCar. It's the same in Formula E for Power Motorsport. My oh my. It's looking really familiar, isn't it? Hyperdrive Racing win in Formula E's opening round and in IndyCar's opening round. And with the other car, they now dominate in the second round of the championship. And yet, both of the Power Motorsport cars crash out. At the very least, it wasn't on the opening lap for Power, but still the carnage of the ERL not shining favorably upon that team. Looking back with the 9 of Puff, trying to chase down Cornwell, who's in the wall, so that'll help the Virgin Racing man. But just like that Virgin Racing man, when he hit the wall previously, he gets it spun around. On board with Puff as he comes through the chicane. That is how you're meant to take it. No ERS deploy, none of that funny business. Lift where you need to, and you'll make it, unlike Casper LeBeau. In the wall now with wing damage as Revo comes to the scene of the incident. And something that we saw a lot more earlier in today's race. We saw drivers darting across there. In fact, the moved polystyrene blocks are still down there as yellows wave. And that is for Dominic Hudson. At the very least, he gets it righted as Verse Theo sets a new fastest first sector. Cornwell comes in, so Puff will take the lead. Those two were fighting over the race win at the end of season 27, if you'll remember. What could have been Cornwell winning on debut became Puff, giving Jaguar Racing a very fitting send-off with a last lap overtake for the win. I think Casper could be coming in. No, he stays out. Despite the wing damage, Revo sets a new fastest lap and will be meeting up with his teammate as they come down into the opening chicane. And considering the age of his soft compound tyres at this stage of the race, he's going to need to wait to make a pass as Puff has hit the wall down at the Variante Alta. Hudson comes in for his 4th stop. Casper LeBeau tries to hold off Chris Cornwell as it's into the wall for the 34. Revo's going to come through and get past. Or is he going to get past the Sims man? Is he just going to let him be in front? I think he might as we go green again, but he's got the inside line, so the pass was inevitable. Is it going to be a double podium for Nord Hyperdrive today? As the cautions come out, it's Nico Palomino and Daniel Bogdasarov. And that's down at the Variante Alta, but not where you'd expect it to be. I think Bogdasarov just ran into the back of him. Or they tagged wheels or something. In any case, I think Puff's going to try and come in. No, he's staying out. He is staying out. Another twist in the tail of this race, and surely Revo's going to have to come into the pits as we begin lap 12. Campo and Verse Theo fighting over 7th place. Bogdasarov holding up the 76, so that puts the 38 to the lead. As now everyone who finishes this race will score points, which is a very clear sign of carnage in a race. Yet both Virgins and both Hyperdrives are still in this. Okay, just both Hyperdrives. Path out on lap 12. And Revo's still out there on his tyres. He's going to get a puncture, surely. He's at 5%, 4%. As he's making his way into the Variante Alta. As his teammate now takes the lead on the penultimate lap. Revo is going to suffer a full car puncture, surely. I don't think he's going to come back from that, though. There's too much distance between all of the cars for that to be a recoverable gap, as Bogdasarov gets another time penalty, and that's with Linus Eriksson. Down at the opening chicane, basically has to drive backwards as the tyres have gone for the 7 car. Revo with a full car puncture, and now it's Nunez Garcia's is into the wall for Verstia. Garcia's caught up, but he can't get past because there are yellows throughout the second sector. Once they clear, however, I believe he should be good to make the pass. Casper LeBeau on the back of him, and as we go green to begin this final lap, with 9 cars still in this race, Revo, who looked to be able to give his team a podium, his teammate is in the wall! Down at the opening chicane, Cornwell, who's leading by over 30 seconds, has hit the wall in the opening chicane. There's Theo, passed by Dominic Hudson. He's dueling away with Linus Eriksson, fighting over 7th. Eriksson's going to get the position, and he runs into Revo. Both drivers still in the race for now, but the cautions come out. It's for Chris Cornwell at the head of the pack. So for Nunez Garcia, if he can make it to the checker as Verstia crashes as well, it's going to be his first career race win. On a day dominated by the Hyperdrive duo. On a day where we hoped for Power Motorsport to make a comeback, it's Citroën Virgin Racing who will shock the field. Through the chicane then, for the number 25, as Ocampo gets past Casper LeBeau. He's struggling with his tyres too, into the wall for the 2-time Formula E champion. He can't close up to Nunez. Casper reclaims second place. I think Hudson's going to take third, and he does. Nubert Nunez Garcia. He won his only ERL race as Bogdasarov gets a puncture and Eriksson is out of the race. Nubert Nunez Garcia won his only ERL race in Detroit in Season 5 of the Champ Car World Series. His debut season in Champ Car. In the second round, in his 20th race in Formula E, he's going to head to the top of the rostrum. Nubert Nunez Garcia from Luxembourg will take victory in the Rome ePrix just as his tyres are ready to give way. And Dominic Hudson will take second. Casper LeBeau's tyres have gone. I think Revo's still going to get a top 4 finish at home. It's going to be close, surely. Hudson rounds the final corner and gives all of his fans from Malaysia something to have joy about. Second place for the Mercedes driver. Ocampo still gets the podium in third. And there's only 3 other cars to see the checkered flag, and Revo's out! Is he out? With a 5-second time penalty, he takes 4th place. Casper LeBeau's out of the race. 5 cars left. Bogdasarov's puncture means that Revo's going to keep 4th either way. Carnage in Rome. Celebrations at Citroën Virgin Racing. It's the only way I can truly put it. With only 5 finishes in Rome today, Nubert Nunez Garcia takes home his first Formula E race win, his second race win across the ERL. Have at it, boy. Have at it. only 5 finishes as well. That is unbelievable. We're going to have to take a look at these cars in the future. Here is your podium. Nubert Nunez Garcia. Welcome back to the top step, old friend. He wins the Rome ePrix from Dominic Hudson and Sebastian Ocampo in third. As for the rest of your finishes, there's only 2 of them. Revo, despite his crash with Casper Lebeau, he went airborne twice in those final 2 laps, and his car must have been made out of Flex Seal or something, because he was still able to see the checkered flag, with Bogdasarov in 5th, the last of your finishes. Everyone else couldn't see the checkered flag. So in the driver's standings, Revo leads them on 37 points. Nubert Nunez Garcia is 2nd. Then it's a tie for 3rd between Nelson and Hudson. UK Ball is 5th from Ocampo and Bogdasarov. Lebeau 8th from Hernandez and Cornwell. Then it's Lebarton, Ezra, you are Puff. Well, everyone behind Ezra is yet to score points, so I don't know why I'm reading off, but I can still do so. You are Puff, Sparks, Verspio, Butler, Erickson, Chiclet, Hart, your boy Sims, 12, Zygmunt and Palomino, all yet to score. So heading into the 3rd round of the championship, Nord Hyperdrive leads the way from Citroen Virgin and Mercedes EQ. Then it's Honda, BMW Andretti, and next EV TCR tied on points on with Power Motorsport. Then it's Sims AAA, Tag Heuer Porsche, and then Venturi, Kiro, and Amla Nagiri all yet to score. So we will see those next time when the ERL returns after this chaotic race. Also, if you are actually watching us on a TV, leave a comment. How was the TV viewing experience? I want to know.